If you ask anyone, what is happiness, you will probably get a wide variety of answers. Some think it's a chemical, others think it's a mindset. So now I'll ask you, were you taught how to be happy? The answer is probably no. But why? Why were you not taught how to be happy? To answer this, we need to understand what happiness really is. So what is happiness? What's your definition? Not sure? Well, here's mine. Happiness is the result of being content or satisfied with your life, current situation, or a previous situation. Notice my definition didn't say anything about emotion. This is because happiness is not an emotion by itself. It is an emotional state that is a result of positive feelings, such as pleasure, enjoyment, contentment, or life satisfaction. And this is what most people don't actually realize. To sum up, happiness is a state, not an emotion. But this state is influenced by positive feelings such as life satisfaction, enjoyment, and pleasure. So we have a quick understanding of what happiness is. Now let me explain the key elements that give rise to a state of happiness. The emotional state of happiness can be narrowed down to two main components. These are your emotional balance and how content you are with your life. Obviously, these are two very big and broad concepts, and therefore understanding the origin of happiness can be difficult. But by having a small understanding of both, you can begin to comprehend happiness. So how does emotional balance affect happiness? Emotional balance in broad terms is the balance between positive, negative, and neutral feelings or emotions. However, emotional balance also involves the individual being aware of their emotions in a way that allows the individual to manage them in an honest, gentle, and wise manner. Seems simple, but there is a catch. To manage emotions, the individual must have emotional intelligence. This is something I cover in a different video. The second component of happiness is life satisfaction. To understand this, let me ask you some questions. Are you content with where you are right now? Are you earning the amount of money you want? Do you get to see your friends enough? The answers to these types of questions will dictate how satisfied you are with your life. Let's summarize. Happiness is affected by emotional balance and life satisfaction. Emotional balance is decided by how the individual manages their emotions, and emotions are managed by emotional intelligence. Rewatch this if you need help. Now that we have a brief understanding of happiness, we can start to understand why you might be struggling to be happy. Listen to me carefully. The two components that largely dictate happiness, life satisfaction and emotional balance, are themselves dictated by a huge variety of factors. I cannot get to the roots of both of these in this video, so I will make separate videos explaining both, but I can give you some insight into both. Let's start with emotional balance. Emotional balance is dictated by how the individual manages their emotions, but there are so many emotions to balance, and depending on your emotional intelligence, you may not be able to manage them. As a result, what can happen is people's negative emotions take over the balance. This can then affect how you view your life satisfaction. Today, people struggle with life satisfaction because of comparison culture. The rise in social media use has led to users being shown every day how good someone else's life is. Social media has also promoted a grass is greener mentality. Both of these mindsets, comparing yourself to others and always wanting more, are highly detrimental to a life satisfaction. It's bizarre how most people aren't taught this and have to work it out for themselves. People go searching for happiness with the idea that something external will quench their thirst, when in reality, happiness comes from within. It is how you manage your emotions and perceive your life that will decide if you are happy or not. By the way, don't ever feel guilty for not being a positive person or not being content with the life you have now. You do not have to always be happy. There are times when you need to be focused, sad, or even angry. More than likely, you were not taught how to do anything we have spoken about, and trying to work these things out for yourself is very difficult. Well done for making it this far, Prophet. Keep going, you're doing great. So people struggle to be happy because they lack emotional intelligence and have not been taught how or why they should be content with the life they have now. If anything, you are subliminally told not to do either of these things. My name's Ijiiga, and here's my best answer. Happiness requires your emotional balance to be more towards the positive side. Happiness also requires you to be content with your life, past and present. And to achieve these two things, you need to take these 3 steps. Develop a positive mindset. If you can see the good in things, eventually you will start amplifying positive emotions. This can tip your emotional balance positive, which is the first half of the puzzle. I teach this in a different video. Secondly, learn how to be content. This will take some time, but by having a positive mindset it will come. You can watch my video on how to be content. Finally, becoming emotionally intelligent. This is hard because it revolves around self-awareness and deciphering your own emotions, both of which are hard to learn. If you want to know more about emotional intelligence, I have a video on that also.